What's old is new again. Today we're picking up where we left off after our previous episode about CBDCs and how gold and silver are playing a part. And we're covering in more depth a growing trend among states once more adopting gold and silver as currency to combat the threats that CBDCs pose. And that currency status on metals has some amazing benefits for investors and stackers, so stay tuned. Okay, we've mentioned a couple of times in our videos that several states have adopted gold and silver as legal tender, and that more are introducing measures to do so. Even the states that are not introducing their own measures to legalize gold and silver as a currency are starting to look at ways of making owning metals easier anyway. And because of the legislation that has passed, there are some unique products that are beginning to flourish in the marketplace that we're going to briefly touch on. So first, let's talk about currency real quick. No state can issue fiat currency being any currency that is backed by nothing but a guarantee, like the US dollar is. But the US Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, gives states the right to turn gold and silver into legal tender. It says, no state shall make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts. As we said in our last video, a coin can be a bar, certificate, round or shaped object, just has to have a face value. So even though they're normally round and we think of them as circular, it doesn't actually have to be round to be a coin. This opens states up to issuing silver or gold as a local currency in many formats. Now, there are benefits beyond being able to transact in gold and silver. When it's adopted as legal tender, capital gains taxes on sales of bullion disappear. And more than that, many of the states adopting measures are also eliminating sales tax, making it even more affordable to own metals. And while currently there are 11 states that accept gold and silver as legal tender, there are another 12 states that are on the path towards the same. Some states are starting to explore even more interesting concepts that will continue to support the bullish trend we're seeing for metals. One of the most interesting aspects of this movement is the potential creation of state depositories. When successful, these depositories will require physical precious metals to be held by the state to support a gold or silver-backed currency. Missouri's SB 100 is one of the most interesting bills being considered this year. Not only does it recognize gold and silver as currency, strip away sales and capital gains taxes, and provide for a depository, but it goes a step further in recognizing monetary freedom. The bill would require the state treasury to accept gold and silver as payment of state taxes, prohibits state agencies from confiscating gold and silver, and attempts to write into law that digital currency cannot be made compulsory for consumers. The confiscation piece is a nice nod to history when Roosevelt confiscated all gold in 1933. The bill had its third reading on May 11th in the House after the Senate passed it in February. This year is a big year for CBDCs. And while some states are sleeping on it, we think it's likely they'll begin to perk up when the US government rolls out its own CBDC, which is expected in July of this year. One interesting trend that the marketplace of ideas has spawned comes out of the first state to legalize gold and silver as currency this century. I'm talking about Utah, where they really paved the way for other states to follow suit. And after they did, a product called the Utah Goldback popped up. And this is a fascinating product. The Goldback is made of real gold and is similar in size and shape to the US dollar. It's a gold note with the largest denomination containing 1/20th of an ounce of gold and the smallest containing 1/1000th of an ounce of gold. It has a very encouraging rate of adoption. In 3 years, the number of Goldbacks produced increased by over 4,800%. The Goldback is accepted in 4 states, and the company producing them advertises that as much as half of small businesses are willing to accept them as payment. We're going to do a deeper dive on this product in another video. We're going to cover the pros and cons and the impact it's having. But for this video, we really just wanted to highlight its success. The Goldback was introduced in 2019 and has grown from about $500,000 worth produced in a quarter to over $60 million worth produced in a quarter. The demand appears to be there for a gold-backed currency when it's done right. The fact that this has no official backing from governments, is completely voluntary, and is growing like a weed is a very bullish indicator for bringing back gold as a currency. There are many people who will accept it and adopt it when they are offered the choice. We think it's important to highlight this is a great example of free markets at work. And this was really enabled by Utah taking the shackles off gold and silver in 2011, which paved the way for enterprising individuals to bring sound money back. Given the fact exactly 0 fiat currencies have stood the test of time, they have literally all failed, we're encouraged to see that states are using their constitutional rights to enable gold and silver to succeed again. As more and more bills are introduced and hopefully pass swiftly, we expect the bullish trend to maintain support and even grow. Look out for our next video when we review the Goldback, its mechanics, its features, investment potential, and gorgeous artwork. We'll talk more about what's driving its adoption and what might be holding it back and how that could affect state strategies moving forward in a CBDC world. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, or share with a friend, and we'll see you next time.